Hey y'all, before I begin this program, this conversation, uh, I wanted to acknowledge again 50 years of hip hop. And as I was thinking of it today, I pulled out a song of some of the ones who would now be the granddaddies of hip hop. And this is a celebratory song. So considering that there was movement or good news or whatever, you know, today we'll just celebrate.
Give it up for Naughty by Nature. You never look my way. I'm licking down your darling in every single way. You're funny for it's foreign and the green card's on the way. This ain't got to do with shampoo, but watch your head and shoulder. Brother, older, bold enough to fold yo, I told ya. Afraid of what I made and played and plus a funky bit. So say you flipped and trick for that music in the monkey bit. Triggers from the good town, ill town. Some that's how it feels now. The deal is that we're good, so we still around. Don't land with a freestyle phantom. Ain't trying to be handsome. Tricking what you're thinking, cause I'm vamping. I live in top of hip hop. This is hip hop of today. I give props to hip hop, so hip hop parade. Ho, hey, ho, hey, ho, hey, ho. Hip hop parade. Ho, hey, ho, hey, ho, hey, ho. You heard a lot about a brother getting low ground, being low down. I do the showdown with any little hoe round. No, I wanna know who you believe in. For your funny reasons, even when I'm sleeping, you think I'm cheating. You said I know you miss a OPP man. Yo, PP man, won't only see me, man. You should've knew when I ain't hitting the step that I was with it a bit, not to consider the rep. Heck, I did your partner cause she's hot as a baker, cause I'm naughty by nature, not cause I hate you. You put your heart in the part of a part that spreads apart and forgot that I believe you had a spark. You try to act like something really big is missing, even though my name's graffiti written on your kitten. I love like women always, and disrespect ain't the way. Let's start our family today. Hip hop parade. Ho, hey, ho, hey, ho, hey, ho. Hip hop parade. Ho, hey, ho, hey, ho, hey, ho. Hip hop parade is many hungry hip hoppers will reason hip hop to top today. So what you heard, cause I ain't belling no hay, ain't chopping no crops, but still growing every day. It's another sound from the wonders found from the underground town, down a hill, feel how go down, drown, smiles the frown, sat the crowns for clowns, beat down, so found on me, don't come around. Tippy paws, since I'm creeping up, I eat 'em up, this styles are older than Lou Rawls. Piece to this one and that one and then, that's why I shout out, and I didn't miss one friend. Fools get foolish, neither them upon the Lewis newest. You can have cruiser shoes and can the tours. Some kitties come, I call me Sir too, looking for her crew. Any trick that this gets a curfew. I put on projects for boots, step through troops and leave proof. My problem solver name is Moot. I'm hitting woodies in a hoodie. Peace to Dosette, Joe Bet, Joe Janae, and every hood G. That's right, my fight is ill. Peace to LONS and Quest, nice and smooth and cypher still. I live in top of hip hop, this is hip hop of the day. I give props to hip hop, so hip hop parade. Ho, hey, ho, hey, ho, hey,
Yes, hip hop hooray. Hey, Selma. Welcome, welcome, welcome to the room. I've come out from underneath the rock. It's very difficult for me to accept that I have those kinds of funky moments. And for the last month, I think it was a slow buildup or something. And the anxiety was having an effect on my physical health. And things became so, well, I thought they were so difficult. My focus was in the wrong place, obviously, but it felt as if I wanted to give up on Sunday morning as I was preparing to go to church, and I really had to talk myself out of it. Like, is this my shit or somebody else's? Um, and church was wonderful. I really love my church and the members, and there's just something very special about 316 Fellowship Church. And our shepherd, Pastor Damon Bird, he's he's a great teacher and preacher. He doesn't preach at you though, you know. We don't talk about things or testify or teach or preach about shit we don't know anything about. So he's delightful. And then I had to begin to think about all the wonderful things that I have in my life, the people that are in my life who are fully supportive, and uh, my girlfriend Karen Jefferson, whose son is a Calabash nephew, Marcus Bird, not tennis, golf pro, y'all, preparing for the to get into the PGA. He's right now out doing qualifiers. Great golfer. Um, I think about her. When I had my knee surgery, she not only drove me to the hospital, she sat through the entire surgery. She made sure that I was comfortable. She asked the nurses all the appropriate questions. She did this in love. You know, she didn't have to stay there the whole day. Or even, she just didn't have to do it. It was, I'm forever grateful to her. And that wasn't the first time she done that for me because last year I had cataracts removed, even though they were tiny. I had them removed, and then I had the knee surgery. So new vision and a new knee, yay! So yeah, enough of that. Well, Zaddy was in the streets again today for another indictment. So the twice impeached, uh, once, twice, thrice, and if "quice" is a word, preparing for his fourth indictment here in Fulton County. Uh, we think we got problems. Ooh, Lord. I would not want to be in his lifted shoes, because you know he's got lifts in him so that he can tower over everybody. But his point of gravity, that big belly, makes him lean. Anywho, yeah, so he's now convicted. Well, he's once convicted too for sexual abuse of Eugene Carroll. Got a lot going on, you know, and it seems that no matter how dysfunctional the family may be, damn Republicans don't. They will stick together. They are sticking with this man. I don't know if it's out of fear. I don't know what it is. Uh, but one of the things that I had to pull up from the news also because my blood pressure would go up, especially when I would see Mr. Ed Jr. up on the thing with her bad weave and just bad behavior. You know, it would just it would just make me so angry that you just want to shake the shit out of her. You know. Oh, anyway, you know who I'm talking about. Trader Green, y'all. The walking crematorium, baby. Ah, so there's just, I had to catch up to see what else was going on in the news. Not the good, of course, it wasn't good news. There's been a lot of different kinds of conversation that have piqued my interest. One was about this young woman named Carly Russell who uh, perpetrated to me something that was just and to many, to millions, to the country, to the world, that was just so fucked up. Girl, for a man, girl, stop. Ooh. Shit got out of hand. Uh-huh. Sure did. But I guess, it ends up that she will, currently, um, she's being fined approximately $2,000. She's been charged with two misdemeanor charges. Her mugshot looked as if she was trying to do a headshot for a movie or something. I expect one will be coming, um, even though I hope not. I guess your ass can't get in trouble if you kidnap your damn self, but trust and believe. She's in Alabama, and those Alabamans are racist and rotten. What she did was absolutely fucked up. It was with all the people who came out to help her, a mother who had lost her daughter, or her daughter was missing, and when she was found, she had been mutilated. Uh, this woman got off her bed and assembled people to go out and look for this chick. And the woman still gave her some grace. But can you imagine the wounds that were opened by parents who have missing children who aren't getting this kind of press? The wounds that were opened. So in Alabama, they are turning over every rock, every pebble. They will find a way to charge her with more shit. Trust and believe. And I'm not about to get into, well, white chicks, other chicks have done it. They do it all the time. That is not even the point. You know, I'm pissed with Carly. I really am. I'm pissed with her. That was foul on all levels. And you still didn't end up with what you wanted, which was the man. The man who had turned his attention away from you and was seeing another woman. Girl. Mm. Well, anyway, moving on to something a bit more. Moving on. Uh, I was reading some past notes and I saw where I'd written down interviews with Kellyanne Conway and now Megyn Kelly. You know, I can't stand Megyn Kelly. I really cannot. She comes off, you know, she makes some pretty stupid ass statements. I mean, but she's one thing she's clear about is that she's a racist too. And because of her mouth and what I see as her kick ass strength, you know, I know I may get a little pushback for this, but I found it very difficult to believe that Roger Ailes would have been able to force her into a situation she didn't want to be in. But anyway, you know, Kellyanne Conway said that she was there was that she was looking for a father figure, and I thought, bitch, have you seen the way he treated his own damn kids? His blood, except for Ivanka. And you looked at him as a daddy figure? My God. I'm going to pray for you, Kellyanne. Megan said that he just comes in and he just exudes this thing and he just uh, it's almost like this suck the air out of the room uh, situation. Well, you ought to be glad of that because if you get too close, you might get a whiff of what's in that. Depends. So you ought to be glad if you suck it all the fucking air out the room. But all of a sudden, she's become enchanted. Damn. I guess it don't take much for some people. Uh-huh. I want to shout out the SAG-AFTRA members. I'm a member. I want to shout out the writers and the actors. I think I heard that or saw a headline where uh, there were going to be some meetings to try to work this out. I guess studio heads and the ones who run the shit and the one who said we'll just wait till they start losing their homes and blah 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 blah. I'm gonna tell you something. You losing money too, you asshole. Writing is the mother's milk of the business of any of these businesses, music, whatever. And they, you know, it's a shame that, you know, one of the things they're fighting about is having you protecting their images. They don't want AI to be able to replace them, and it shouldn't be that way. It just should not be that way. Um, Anybody who's been in this business, I know I've been at it a while. Excuse me, I'm turning that down. It takes years sometimes for anyone to achieve any kind of success. That there's only about 1% who are living large. Others are hoping to reach that pinnacle. In the meantime, they're working other jobs. They might, if they've been in a series that's been syndicated, get a $2.50 check. It's not. It is not at all. It's not easy. It is not easy. And I'm searching actually for a video that I saw where a writer actually, spits some truth about being writers and actors in this business. That she at 50 is just now beginning to see some of the fruits of her labor. And she pretty much let studio heads say, if you think that we're going to bend because we are going to have some hard times, well, motherfucker, you don't know. We used to hard times. Shit, this is just another blip in the radar. We'll find something to do in the meantime. And I just want to add to that we are unwitting actors, participants in the greatest fucking story ever told. I mean, I think Zaddy said it out of his mouth. This is he's loving this. This is all about him. Even if it's not good press, or whatever, the spotlight is on him. Can you believe that? So now we are all actors in his. It's a nightmare for our asses. I guess for him, I don't know. He might be feeling some kind of way right now. You know what I mean? He might be feeling some kind of way right now because he simply isn't. He's sliding down, and he knows he's sliding down. He's not as popular as he once was, and blah blah blah. At least we think. But I did want to share. Let me see if I can find this video. Hey, Electra. Welcome. I'm looking for a video, and I'd like to share it and I want to shout out Fume Desalu-Volda. She's a brilliant Nigerian actor, journalist, model. She's one of those runway models. Her stuff is real. So anyway, let me turn the volume down and move to the section of the video, and it's right there already. Okay, so I want to shout out Fume for explaining how residuals work, for taking time to just share what it is like to what it's like to be creative. But we do it because we love it. You have to love it. I tell anyone who is pursuing music, acting, whatever, you have to love what you are doing, because this is not a self-gratifying business necessarily. So I'm going to share my screen with for me a section of her video. And if you all ever have an opportunity, check her out, FUMI Desalu-Volda. Check her out. She's amazing. But let's listen to this writer who clearly explains what it is like to be creative in Hollywood or anywhere else.
Tickets, and people keep asking me why we're striking. They're confused. When you're outside of Los Angeles, they're confused about the whole actor and writer thing, because they're assuming that we're all earning tons of money. So let me break it down right quick for one final time for the people in the back. As an actor in Hollywood, to qualify for healthcare so you can go and see the doctor and your kids can see the doctor, you have to earn over $26,000 as an actor. That sounds doable, right? Yeah. 87% of actors working in this industry in America do not earn enough to qualify for healthcare. $26,000. The Meryl Streeps and the Tom Cruises are 0.02% of all actors working in this industry today. As a writer in this industry, you have to earn $40,000 a year to qualify for healthcare. 92% of writers do not earn $40,000. Therefore, they do not get healthcare. Did Did you know there are people within these networks who are being paid more money for scheduling TV shows than the people that actually created the TV shows that they're scheduling? It's nonsensical. And I can hear some of you guys go, yeah, but Gina, you're doing all right in this industry. What are you complaining about? Well, number one, for those of us who are more fortunate and been able to make a decent living in this industry, it's up to us to stand up for those of us that aren't. I've been in that position. I've done shows for these streamers and been sent a residual check for 37 cents. Let me know in the comments what you can get in a grocery store for 37 cents. In fact, if you got a check for 37 cents, would you put gas in your car to drive down to the bank to put that said check in? I think not. I think not. And plus, I've only been making a decent living from television in the last 4 years at 50. That's how long it took me as a black woman to get into this industry. And you know what happens? If we lose this battle, we'll be right back out that door, because the only people that will be able to afford to be in this industry will be white tech bros and trust fund babies. All other voices will be lost. That'll be black people, people of color, women, LGBTQI people. And I don't know if you've noticed, but I'm all free. These studios would have you guys believing that we're being greedy and unrealistic. What's greedy and unrealistic is 6 people earning $700 million between them, having created nothing, and everybody else in the industry struggling to pay their rent. That's greedy and unrealistic. And those heartless executives who let slip that they're going to string the strike along until we start losing our houses and apartments. Actors and writers have been struggling for the longest. They've been doing 2 and 3 jobs. They've been working in bars and Target and driving Ubers because they've been unable to make a living wage from the vocation that they chose because of your corporate greed. So if you think that actors and writers are going to buckle at the first sign of difficulty because it's the first we've ever encountered, oh, you're in for a big fucking surprise.
I like that. It's the truth. It's the truth. It is the truth. So I just wanted to share that. Now we move on to DeSantis. Oh my God. You know, I think he's lying about his lineage. Every time I look at him, I smell linguiça. I smell Portuguese. I don't smell Italian. And now there seems to be some confusion about how he even wants the name pronounced. It doesn't matter because he is just a mean-spirited, nasty human being. For him to say that slavery benefited us because we learned, after slaves learned trades that benefited them later. Well, no. We had trades. We knew trades. The slavers were very choosy about who they pulled into the country. They saw what they had built, the structures. So while there were men taken from tribes to be breeders, and women so that they could get strong stock babies so that they could keep that workforce going, and get the country built. They brought us here, and it's fucked up to me that in 2023 we're still fighting to get votes, and especially since the devil showed up in the White House. A man who, if he's breathing, he's lying. His fucking hair is a lie. He's a lie. He is a liar. And it doesn't matter how many cases he loses. None of that matters. Some people love the grift, baby. And Zaddy, you've had a good life fucking over people and grifting and cheating and lying. You've had a great life. All good fucking things got to come to an end. And perhaps this is your turn. And you will be left with your memories of when you had anointed yourself king of New York and then later king of the world. There was a gentleman by the name of Pata Sika who fathered more than 200 children. That was his gig. So he had many women, and he, well, let's say he impregnated many because he came from a tribe that was known for strength and agility. So he was here to create. Can you imagine 200 children are part of this man's bloodline? You almost got to wonder if anybody from that bloodline uh, has bothered to check. But anyway, we're talking about the state, and I think wouldn't it be funny if somebody went back in his history and found out that he has some black blood in his ass and that he's just passing? That would be fucking hilarious to me. And his name is DeSantis. It's not Williams or James or like what we would consider an American name. So somebody in his family had to come across the pond and settle here. He's disgusting. Just disgusting. Just disgusting. So he seems to be losing steam, and that's a good thing. That's a real good thing. And now Tim Scott and Byron Donald. Byron Donald, who stood with the walking crematorium, MGT, or MTG, who stood with her in front of the federal prison saying that they were visiting the insurrectionists to make sure everybody was being treated fairly. And they got very upset when a literal whistleblower blew the shit out of his whistle and interrupted his little speech he was prepared to give. And he lost it. He got angry. Well, he and Tim Scott have decided they're going to stand with VP Kamala Harris and the comments she made regarding DeSantis' statement. I guess they woke up and realized, hey, racism does exist in America, because I believe Tim Scott was the one that said that America is not a racist country. I don't know how you can say some dumb shit like that. It's legislated in the law. You're a senator. You're supposed to know better. Damn. You and Clarence Thomas, he didn't know that he had to put certain things on his taxes. Y'all playing in our faces. Electra, I don't know if actors can apply for Medicaid. I really don't know. I would imagine if that were the case, that we would know about it. I know that when I was in LA, that in between gigs, it wasn't at all unusual for us to go and apply for assistance so that you get a food card, and I would see famous faces, famous people there, people that you think would be okay. Hey, Edwina, that you think were doing all right, that were rocking it, but they were doing the same thing we were all doing, looking for some sort of assistance. So that might be possible, but that still isn't enough when you think about the rents in LA and just the cost of living in that city. You know, while people in Georgia are complaining about paying over $3 for a gallon of gas, in LA they've been Years ago, we were paying $5 a gallon. So, I mean, to live in Los Angeles, or I think probably in California, period, is it's not inexpensive at all. Yeah. So I don't know, honey. I'll have to look into that. I would imagine every actor, every writer, everyone is doing whatever they must do and have to do in order to take care of their families. So just keep us, let's just keep the business lifted, because no one is being unreasonable and wanting to join this union and being able to not only get some medical help and help that they need, but also a bit of retirement. Because people who are actors and singers and whatnot, there are organizations that once you join and you pay your monthly dues, it just kind of stacks up, and you're able to pull some of the money out are when you feel as if you want to sit down for a minute. You've gotten on in age, etc., etc. So I'll have to look into that. There's also been another interesting conversation. um, you know a trans woman made an unkind comment about biological women not owning uh, periods. So it set off a firestorm. I just like to say, I ain't got no beef, okay? I just don't. I think with everything that is going on in this world, I just don't have a beef. When you are, when you are a spiritual person, and we all are, when you are open and tuned in, you see who's who. It just seems that we're just, and I don't mean that the conversation is relevant. I suppose I just think that there's so many other topics we could discuss. The one thing we can agree on is that um, women overall, Black women, since this was within our community, being a woman is hard fucking work. Being a Black woman is hard work. There's a whole lot more to it. And I'm saying a Black woman of any kind. And then we hear about the tragic deaths of just recently of trans women a trans woman who was killed by a pastor, a man of the cloth, a man who often would go to the community, the trans community, because he was trans attracted. You see, I don't buy that men who end up with a trans woman and then do something vicious and violent and hateful, right up to murdering someone. I don't buy that they don't know where they are and what they want. Now that may be true in some cases. I just don't think anyone is being tricked. I think you know what you like, and you went for what you like. You just don't want anybody else to know. You don't want your homeboys to know. If you're married, you don't want your wife to know. Oh, man of the cloth. Now you'll be doing time. And you might end up being Bubba's girlfriend. Being a Black woman is tough. It's hard work. However, I enjoy it. I enjoy it. So I don't have any beef with trans women at all. I don't like the like the snarky comments and the hurtful things that are said uh, by biological women to trans women and vice versa. Y'all, we are fighting for our very lives out here. We are fighting for our very lives. Democracy, America, as fucked up as she is still a great nation. For if Ron DeSantis with his stupid ass thinks he's gonna bury history because because it doesn't paint uh, white folks in a positive light. Black history is American history, and it'll never be forgotten, and it will never be ripped to shreds. And you want to talk about being woke? The education system was indoctrination always, and now people are not settling for that anymore. The opposite of woke is to be fucking asleep, and we are no longer asleep. Uh, get your wife a stylish child. Tell her that, she's giving me Priscilla Presley vibes. No, girl, get your stylist with your radical gang of moms for liberty. Whose liberty are you fighting for? And I listened to DeSantis try to uh, we made a stupid statement in reference to Tim Scott and what he named Byron Donald. That they were Washington politicians and they just been caught up in all the smoke and whatnot. No, man. No, I'm not defending them at all, because I just have a problem with all the mammy and the pappies that be tap dancing over at Fox News for massa, almost as if they are begging for acceptance and inclusivity. I'm not down with that. But at least have the balls to tell the truth. And I would encourage every Black parent to teach their children their history. My mother taught it to me. Teach, if they're not getting it at their schools, then begin teaching it at home. Our children, we need to tell our stories. And we need to do so loudly and clearly. Loudly and clearly. I was hoping Tia would come on, but she's probably busy. This was kind of last minute for me. I wasn't sure I was even going to come on. I didn't know if I was going to reschedule, but I thought I better do it while I'm feeling up to it. Um, you know, I am part of an intercessory prayer group. And I think what was happening with me is that I had forgotten to pull back and love on myself and pray for myself. Spend some time lifting up my timber, loving me, talking about my dreams, what I am working towards, and my determination, what my heart's desires are. Because when you're an intercessor, you stand on the front lines and pray for others who may be exhausted, who may feel hopeless, who may not believe in a creator, whatever. and it can be draining. So I pray for everyone in this group, and if you are praying, every one of you that joins me, if you are praying, I pray. My prayer for you is that you receive the same virtue that you put out. If you're praying for your children, that you receive the love, respect, the hugs, the kisses from your children, from your loved ones. That you see a prayer answered. Um, yeah, take care of yourselves because we're no good to anyone when we're running on empty. At first, I was going to get on and be petty and whatnot. I guess to a certain extent I have been, but not my usual uh, going all the way in. I want to give a shout out to David at Thoreau by the Sea. I enjoy he and Johnny's readings, and my favorites, Dr. Lena, my very favorite Mary Ann. She was the first reader. It was Johnny and Mary Ann and Becca at House of Lenormand, and then Jen. I mean, it's kind of grown. Um, I wanted to shout him out because I've made, some kind of snarky comments beneath some of his videos. I thank him for the shout out, even if it is for my potty mouth, because I do have it sometimes, and you just gotta let it rip. Sometimes you just gotta let it go. Like just purge yourself, just let it go, and then get back. Then get back on your square, get back to that space where you can look around at the blessings we have in life. Like I said, I had to think about friends that care about me. My beloved, uh, I love the spring and the summer, and it's really beautiful in this city when everything is in full bloom. Pollen doesn't help, but beautiful flowers, trees, a beautiful sky. I love to stand out in the sun and get some natural vitamin D, take a walk. I would walk in the grass, so people would pick up their dog shit. I don't understand that. Why do people take their dogs out and just let them shit and piss everywhere and not pick up at least, I know you can't do anything about the pee, but you can pick up the logs. You can't pick up the shit. That really annoys me. If it weren't for that, I'd walk in the grass around here. And I also want us to really focus on being present. Like right now, I think we've stressed ourselves out for so long because we've been overly concerned about what will happen. What does the future hold? That sometimes you be and you looking ahead so far ahead, you forget about the beauty of the moment. You don't enjoy it. You don't enjoy this. I'm enjoying this moment, and we become so concerned about what's happening down the road and something that isn't even promised. Hey, Jaconda, something that just simply isn't even promised, that we don't embrace the moment. All we have is right now. We hope in the future, but I want us to think about now and be mindful of now. Let's read some comments. Electra, I hear you. There's too much dog shit and it is a drag. Ah, I it yeah, it is a drag. It takes a whole lot out of being able to get grounded because you're standing on the ground. And yes, Edwina, I wouldn't be here if it were not for Tallulah. And those were fun shows. Those were at the beginning of COVID, and we were all held captive at home. So that we began to. I know I began to search YouTube for documentaries, for readers, for spiritual information, bunch of stuff. So yeah, those were the good old, those were lovely days. Those were lovely days. And we just remember those things and we smile and we proceed. We're not looking in our rear view mirror, baby, because you can't drive your car looking in the rear view mirror. Got to keep your eyes focused. I don't want us to get so happy about this demon's apparent uh, his grip, his foot on the neck of Americans. I don't want us to get so joyful about what's happening to him because you don't want some of that shit. You don't want backlash. You don't want what you say or what you don't want that to come back on you or your family. Because the real deal is he set his own ass up, okay? And he can't seem to stop. So he is he's only begun to feel the full force of his shenanigans, in his lifetime. We don't have to do anything, really. He's created this for himself. But we do say hip 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 hop hooray. Hey ho hey. Yeah. Yeah, we do rest a little easier, I think. Maybe. We don't know. We don't know. But please, when you get in that funk, I was in a funk. When you get there, acknowledge that you're in a funk. As an empathic person, I have to make sure that it's mine and that it's not someone else's. But when you get in a funk, it's up to us to self-encourage much of the time because there's not always someone around, to cheer you on, to help you feel good about what's happening. So that's it. I didn't really have I just want you to know that I'm back. You've heard me refer to visiting the Martians. I have returned from the red planet. Telling y'all, you don't want to fuck with the red planet. You can let Elon Musk, anybody else want to go up there. Maybe that's their home. But as for me, it is an awful place to be. Jakarta. We got to remember to do us when things get better, and it will. We have to be ready, or at least working on the building. And I agree. I agree. Let's take care of ourselves and our families. Yeah. And our community. This is a beautiful community that came out of COVID. So I'm thankful because it was how I met Johnny and Adrian. It's how I began to know many of you because we were all going to the same sites and we became a community. and it has grown and it has expanded, and I am delighted to be a part of it. Tia and I will be back on, and it'll be petty for real with petty reads. You know, I'm pretty mellow right now. It's important that I remain mellow. So I will send out a notice. I'm thinking we may come on Saturday and have a hoot, have a little fun. And in the meantime, I want to thank each and every one of you. I want to thank you, Jaconda, Electra, Edwina. You know, Electra, I really dig it when you come on. I enjoy you and Jaconda. Y'all have been and Selma, thank you. Thank you so much for coming if you're still here. Um, Thank you. I want to thank all of you for coming to spend a little time with me. I hope that you will enjoy the remainder of your evening. Uh, let's keep loving everybody to life. You know what I mean? Let's keep doing that. That it may sound really corny, but that is truly what is going to get us all through. Thank you so much. Warm hugs and kisses to you all. And I'll see you on Saturday with Tia. Okay? All right. Thanks. Thanks a lot. Celebrate now.